Hi there, my name is Phila Beckett, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so you are notified when new videos drop. And I have been watching WestWorld. WestWorld is back after I would say contentious second season. Terrible second. I don't know. Second. The trouble is, I haven't gone back and watched the second season, which is, both the problem and the problem I have with saying it, with reevaluating it, because I don't want to sit through it to reevaluate it. But okay, the third season is here, and I think so far it seems to be a significant improvement on the confused second season, shall we say. It's not up to the heights of the first season, because I don't think it really understands what it is that's so great about it. Well, I don't think the people making it understand why the people who liked it liked the show. But what can you do? You can't make people do things that you don't want them to do, which I think is kind of like the central message of the show. Anyway, but before we get into it, if you like your independent voices here on YouTube, if you could consider hitting that subscribe button, thank you so much. That is so incredibly helpful for me. I am genuinely grateful. I give stuff away every week on this channel. Stuff I'm giving away this week is Breaking Bad, the complete second season. All you need to do to win it is subscribe to the channel. Subscribing being the important part of the equation. Subscribe to the channel and leave the hashtag. I am the one who knocks. I am the one who knocks. Go look in the video notes. I'll give you all the instructions on everything you need to do to win it. We're going to do the drawing, I don't know, in a few days. Listen, the apocalypse is happening. Western civilization has basically shut down. There's a plague of locusts, and I'm not exaggerating. There's literally a plague of locusts heading towards the Middle East right now. So, all bets are off. It'll be in the next few days. But we're going to be doing Breaking Bad streams as well. So, we're doing, look, a lot of YouTubers, much like yourself, are stuck at home. So, that we're going to be doing Breaking Bad streams. So, probably when we start doing that is when I do the giveaway. So, but anyway, none of that. We're talking about, also in the video notes, there's a download for a Doctor Who audio venture. If that floats your boat, it floats my boat. So enjoy it. It's made by a fan group from the mid-80s, starring a guy called Nicholas Briggs, who now does the voice of the Daleks. Anyway, back to WestWorld. So the first thing we got to about WestWorld is the massive ratings drop that they got. The ratings were never like massive ratings. They were apparently last season's premiere got 1.8 million, which seems to me to be really low. If Doctor Who's doing 4 million in England, this should seem to be it would get more. But what do I know? But it's kind of massive rating drop. Apparently, it was watched by 900,000 people overnight, which wow, that's really really low. And and the reason why is the second season. The second season just severely disappointed. It was very confused, very diffused, very we weren't really sure what was going on. The first season, it flipped the storytelling on its head with this two locations, these two temporal locations that they told the story and mixed it together. That was very clever. The second season they did a far less linear storytelling, and it just didn't make much sense. And I think the problem was they were too busy retooling it to be a very strong Me Too allegory, which really not such a great idea, I'm afraid. I think that I think it just makes it made it that you lost focus on what the show was and what drove it. And it's what it really was Hollywood playing out its personal problems on screen with billions of dollars to do it, and I don't think it really helped them much. The whole Me Too thing wasn't in my opinion, was an expression of male oppression of women. I think it was more of an expression of how terribly immoral Hollywood society is. Because it is horribly immoral. Most people aren't involved in Me Too stuff in outside. If you work in the supermarket, you're not going to be Me Too. No, it doesn't really happen so much. Listen, as far as I know, I've been married since '96. So whatever that's 20 be 24 years. I have two daughters. neither my wife nor my daughters, to my knowledge, have ever been Me Too. So I think that it's just a expression of living in a morally corrupt society, and the more morally corrupt a society you live in, the more likely you're going to be get abused. So again, so Hollywood wants to say that no, this isn't just Hollywood, this isn't us, this is all men. No, it's Hollywood, and it's them playing out their personal problems again, very live on screen, which it just alienated most of the audience. How do I know it alienated most of the audience? Because most of them aren't here anymore. Again, 900,000, very low overnight rating. So because of that, yeah, look, clearly, this series is expensive. It looks gorgeous. They must spend absolute fortune on this. But I just can't see this being sustainable. It's like, even with these low ratings, the whole beer bug thing, the whole apocalypse they're living through is having a massive effect on the entertainment industry. I don't know if HBO Max is even going to be able to launch. If it's going to be certainly be delayed. Oh, sir, I mean, I'm not involved, but I can't imagine it wouldn't be delayed. But I just can't imagine a show this expensive with this low popularity surviving to tell the end of the story. It's supposed to have a 5-year story arc, and this is year 3. I think this is probably the last year, which is a shame. Really, it's a real shame because that they killed it off. With all this woke Hollywood basically killed it. Which again, it's a real shame because this season looks a lot better than season 2 so far. So, my first takeaway is gone is the non-linear storytelling. Maybe, as far as like that, maybe like the whole storyline with Aaron Paul in the real world setting. But spoilers, lots of spoilers for everything. That whole like Aaron Paul real world setting might all be turned on its head. This might be like some kind of like virtual construct, and none of this is real. I could see, I could see that happening. But right now, it seems to be that they're going for very linear storytelling. So we start off. And we're back into like the Me Too the analogy again. We got this horrible, nasty businessman who's mean and who's mean and just doing mean things. Who is stalked and murdered? Firstly, has all his wealth stolen by, stalked and murdered by Dolores. Dolores is able to seamlessly break into his security. There is some real cool sci-fi stuff in this. Like he's wearing glasses which have augmented reality built into them seamlessly, which I can see happening, and I'm actually surprised. I can see this was the end goal of Google Glass, but I'm surprised that they didn't keep on with it because that's clearly the role. Like he's wearing these glasses and he's talking to somebody, and it looks like the person's there, but the person's not there. They're just a protection on his glasses, which I can see that happening. Oh my god, can you imagine what the porn's going to be like when they invent that? Yeah, I said, whenever I see any technology, that's normally my first question. Oh my god, can you imagine what the porn's going to be like from that? So so that's very cool. But you have this whole like. You see Dolores is Jennifer Jason Leigh is the personification of female anger at men. So again, they're doubling down on this Me Too storyline. Now, my question is that a bad thing? Because in of itself, I really don't think it's a bad thing. I think the problem with woke Hollywood and woke, all the politically correct, all this identity politics is when you focus on that. I haven't seen anybody be able to focus on that and tell a good story at the same time. I'm not opposed to somebody focusing on that and telling a good story. All I want is a good story. So far, this seems to be this episode was an engaging episode. It's a little bit dull, not much really happened in it. But and again, the money they spent on this is just like you're gasping at every frame. But it looks more expensive than a blockbuster Hollywood movie, and they're doing this for 10 hours. I just can't see this kind of expense being sustainable in any way. But not really my problem. No, my problem will be is if they leave it in season 3 and we don't get the end of the story. So I'm not sure if having this woke programming, that having Dolores be the personification of female anger at the patriarchy. I'm not sure if that's a bad thing, but just again, I haven't seen anybody else whenever anybody tries to do it, it always comes out awful. And I really don't understand what the correlation is. Like I've seen political messaging in TV and cinema before, and never has it made the stories get better. I'm thinking, I just a million examples. I'm thinking of the Doctor Who story, the Happiness Patrol from the '80s, which was a very clear, very open swipe at the Thatcherism and the Thatcher government. But it was a great stonking story as well. So I just don't understand why they can't do both at once. But see. That's really your job if you're a screenwriter, to be able to tell engaging stories. And this one seems to be engaging. So again, I don't know if it's a bad idea to put it in or not. I guess I'll know when I get to the end of the season. So we're the biggest addition to this season is Aaron Paul's character. And we get to see a lot more we don't get to see any of Westworld, which again I think is a problem. We don't get to see any of Westworld. We get to see the outside world, and it's really interesting. It's a really interesting view of the world, and we basically see that through Aaron Paul's eyes. That's the way we get into it. And this world is run by algorithm, which again I can see happening. Like an algorithm dictates the course of everybody's life and where everybody works and what everybody does. And there's some really great science fiction in this. There's some I like it. It's really clever science fiction. It's science fiction where it projects where technology is and where technology is now, where it's taking us, and how uncomfortable it is. But great science fiction is never about the robots or the spaceships or whatever. It's about real things. Great. It's always like the original Star Trek was great science fiction, and they always told great stories through analogy. So so this one deals with real things, and it's talking about. Well, first it's talking about how technology is dehumanizing us, taking us outside, what's the word, depriving us of our personal choices, of our personal autonomy. Because again, our lives are lived by algorithm in this world. But they also flip that. See, it's the inverse of that, and we see how technology is humanizing, so we're blurring the lines between what is between synthetic life, artificial life, and real life, as human life becomes like dehumanized and artificial life becomes humanized. We see the two like kind of merge together, and it takes you into like really interesting like Philip K. Dick territory. We're asking us what it is to be alive, what is a soul, what is life. All that stuff is absolutely fascinating. What isn't fascinating? Tessa Thompson. Whenever they put her in anything, she basically just plays one character. I don't know why she gets so much work, but okay, so she's back, and now she's the boss of the Dallas Corporation. She's in charge of it. And at the end of the season, which I totally forgot about second season, in the recap they remind me that in fact they didn't remind me. They showed me it. I went, I have no memory of that whatsoever. They showed me that she was replaced by a replicant, like a host version of her, and we don't know what personality chip has been put inside her. Is it one of the other hosts that we knew from season 1 or 2, or is it like an edited version of what's the character of Charlotte Hale? Charlotte Hale, I think is it. So we don't know what's going on there. I kind of like the idea that she's a version of herself because they've been harvesting memories from and personalities from their time when they stayed in Westworld. So I like the idea that she's a artificial version of herself that's been edited to be on the side of. I'm assuming she's on the same side with Dolores and the bad people. So 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 I think she's working in tandem with Dolores. Who's not working with Dolores is Bernard. Bernard now is hiding out as he's been framed for the massacre at Westworld, as being responsible for it. And he's taken on the false identity, and he's essentially working in this abattoir like meat farm. It's quite. Yeah, I'm not sure if the animals that they're harvesting have been grown or not, but yeah, that's where he's working. And he has a split personality. The other personality of it is very, very violent, and only comes out when he's discovered. You have a couple of workers there who find out who he is, and they're either going to turn him in or blackmail him in. So he lets his other personality out, which then kills him, horribly. Then he has to run away again. So I don't know who the two personalities are within him. That's another question that they're setting up. The good thing about Westworld is that normally when they set up questions, they answer it. They don't just kind of forget. The scripts have some internal cohesion. Although I really can't comment on the second season because I only watched it once when it was on. I never did a rewatch because I just it wasn't as good as the first. It didn't have that the great things about the first season was all that setting within the West world. All that very cool stuff. The people going on their loops and the bank robbery when they had they're playing Paint It Black. In the way, all that stuff that's all completely gone, what happens to him? So he's in opposition to Dolores, and we don't know how he got there or why he's there. We don't. I get the feeling that Dolores won't kill him, even though she knows that he's opposed to her because she's very dedicated to Silicon Life, and so she won't. She won't kill one of her own. That's like the human way. Or maybe that's just me. That is just me. But I don't know if that's gonna play out on the screen. But yeah, that's something we need to keep an eye on. So Dolores, after she steals all this money from this rich guy at the beginning and kills him, it turns out that she's been dating the CEO of this insane data company with this real supercomputer that I think created the algorithm that directs everybody's life in the Western world. In it, that it seems. And it seems like everyone's living pretty comfortably, being directed by algorithm. So the CEO is the son of the guy who invented the supercomputer, and he only has turns out he only has surface level access to a couple of these little higher levels. He has no idea what this computer is or how to get it. I'm guessing the computer is going to be sentient, but Dolores is trying to get to him to get into the computer because I can, she's like, Lunsford, like to like, she sees the similarity there. So Dolores then gets herself caught by the head of security, the Scottish actor who I've seen before. He's normally like the rough guy in Braveheart or someone. Yeah, I think he was there. But so he gets caught by the head of security as somebody who's faked their past, and so he's whisked away, and that's how her Dolores story interconnects with Aaron Paul's Caleb. Now, Aaron Paul is simultaneously really, really clever casting and really lazy casting at the same time because he's essentially playing a very similar character, a pretty identical character to Jesse from Breaking Bad. He's got ghosts in the past. He's ex-army. I'm pretty sure, suffering from PTSD, and he's caught in this lower position in life, which is this interesting thing. You see him he's doing blue collar work. You see him interviewing for a job, but he won't. But he doesn't get it. So he's asking the person who he gets the information, the news from, that he doesn't get the job or whatever it is. What he can work on, what he did, and it turns out the person he's talking to is a computer, is an automated thing. I'm sure we all get the computers calling us all the time. Hi, my name's Tammy. And you don't know you're dealing with a person. So this is set 40 years, probably in 40 years in the future. So that kind of makes sense. It will go in that direction. So he's desperate to pull himself out of that, but he supplements his income quite considerably. He's looking after his mother by doing criminal jobs, and the way he does criminal jobs, because everyone is monitored, they use this app called Rico, I think, to pick up criminal work, and he's pretty happy doing larceny, like blowing up cash machines and stuff like that. But he draws a line at doing personals, which is like kidnapping and murder. So he spends most of the episode avoiding and then talking to his old army buddy who keeps calling him. And as the episode unfolds, it becomes apparent that this buddy is actually dead. It's not really him. And this is like an AI copy of him that he's paying some subscription service to talk to so he can, like, not have lost his friend, I think. But it gets to the point in the end when he says, listen, I can't move on with my life until I intersect with a real person. And that's when he meets up with Dolores, which is interesting, a real person, but she's not. So Dolores, she was caught by the security guy who tases her and takes her away, and they're like drugging her, and they're gonna fake her death, but she kind of activates, and kills everybody apart from the security chief, who then it's quite a good a car chase to catch him. Finally catches him, and there's a host replicant version of him that she's going to replace him with. So, but she's shot during the exchange, and that's when Aaron Paul finds her, and she faints into his arm, just like she fainted into Teddy's arms. So we have a lot of questions. She's being for question is where is Teddy? Is Teddy one of the she's got these little marbles of the personalities of the host? Is she the security chief? Is she Tessa Thompson? I have a theory that Teddy might actually be Aaron Paul's character, Caleb, and everything is just like an edited simulation, like virtual reality to try and heal him and bring him round again. Maybe, who knows? Again, setting up lots of interesting questions. And then we last see Bernard. He's on the run again. He's trying to make it back to WestWorld, and we see in the trailer that he does spend some time in WestWorld with one of the what's his name? One of the Hemsworth brothers. He looks like it. Who is living in the shattered remains of WestWorld. I guess we'll find out as the season goes on. And after the titles, we finally get to see Maeve again. So last time we saw her, she was leaving the physical world for a virtual one, and she wakes up and she's in maybe Nazi occupied Spain or somewhere, which we see in the trailer. We're going to see a lot more of that as the season goes on. So again, it's a real shame that they alienated so much of their audience in the second year because they didn't come back for year 3. I just can't see them sustaining this. And this year is so far it's a very interesting science fiction story with way too much money spent on it. That's the thing. I keep saying it was too lavish, because they really could have got to the exact same effect on a much smaller budget, a much smaller budget. I don't think there's any need for these massive, cinematic landscape, vistas or anything. I really don't think there's need for it to tell the story, and I actually think it's hurting our TV and cinema doing. So I don't know if I'm going to be reviewing every episode or not. Let me know. There seemed to be very, very little interest whatsoever in it, which is why I didn't bother reviewing this at first. I don't know. Let me know. Let me know what you want. I'm happy to do it. Again, we've all got time on our hands. My name is Felix Beckett, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. Please hit the subscribe button and have yourself a fantastic day.